So,
Ready?
yep, why not? Hey, everybody, welcome to WineStream Barcelona.
Here we are again. So yesterday we went on a little journey, and you'll see some of that in our Barcelona life. But we went to a really neat local producer called Sadrny. You can see here. And they actually do not only cava, but red wine and white wine. Uh, it's a pretty amazing place. We were recommended by some local friends saying this place is a real gem, that people don't really know about it. So, sure enough, we drove 15 minutes from our house and we see this little kind of a farmhouse on the side of the road. We went in, and there was a family member of the family that owns the whole place.
Mm-hmm.
And between some Spanish, some English, some Catalan, we introduced ourselves, and she took us through the various wines that they did. So we came home with a rosado and a typical Brut Nature cava. So we're going to open them up and taste them. Just a few words about Sadrny, which is also amazing, especially when you come from the U.S. where things aren't that old. But the land, at least part of the land, has been in the family since the 1400s.
Yeah.
And we thought that was kind of funny because that's about the same time that Columbus was sailing from Spain to the New World, 1492. So this is even older. But it's absolutely amazing how these families can be doing this for ever and ever, and really I don't think it pays that well because they're charging this is like $6-7 bottles of cava, and we even got 5 liters of white wine out of a hose into a plastic container for like $7-8, which is a nice daily drinker. But anyway, so we're going to try these two. Like I said, this is a Brut Nature, and that is actually the driest of the cavas. And this rosado is a Brut, so that means the sugar content is just a slight bit higher. There's also a few other grades that are even sweeter, demi-sec and sec, but we really don't like those because they're just too sweet. And being on a kind of a keto, low carb, the less sugar the better. And again, it just tastes better. The toasty champagne cava taste that we're used to, you get much more in this one, even more so than this one. But with the rosado, sometimes they have a little more sugar, just because the way that they finish it off with the méthode champenoise, which Elizabeth is going to tell you while I open the bottles.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of get to basics again. Cava is an interesting thing because it actually used to be called Spanish champagne. And Champagne, as some of you probably know, is in a specific region in France. So it's against the law to call anything champagne unless it comes from that place. But it also is made a certain way. So unlike a Brut or a sparkling wine, that's a good sound.
There's no real trick to this. We don't need tools like we do for some of the wine. You just want to guard your eyes when that cork pops out because it can come out pretty fast.
Yeah. So anyway, the this is made with méthode champenoise, or the champagne method, and what that is it means that the last stages of fermentation are done inside the bottle. So with the Brut or some of the sparkling wines that aren't méthode champenoise, it's done in a vat or a barrel. So that's basically the difference between the méthode champenoise and like a regular lower quality wine. But in the 1980s, Cava sort of got really popular because there was a pest that was eating the vines in France. And anyway, so the the cava got up to speed because so many people wanted this kind of method champenoise taste.
What would you like to taste?
I'm gonna taste this one.
Okay, we'll start.
Yeah, so let's just get to the taste. But it wasn't until like 1986 that they actually said that you can't call yourself a cava unless you're from the Cava region, which is right here in Penedès. It's the highest production of cava in the world. So,
Is that right?
yeah. So, wow, it's pretty, huh?
Yeah, so the sign of a good cava is usually the bubbles being quite small,
Mm-hmm.
that the carbon dioxide is well dissolved into the liquid. Um, that's just one sign I remember hearing about.
Mm-hmm.
But really, at this price point, it all depends on what you like and the taste, because it's a lot of providers who are doing a brut or a brut nature. Your next step up would be like a reserve or a grand reserve, which would be a vintage. This is a non-vintage, so
Mm-hmm.
it's really probably coming from the 2016 harvest,
Right.
because it's about an 18-month
Yeah.
fermentation bottling process.
Yeah. So, another interesting thing about cava and champagne is that when the last stages of fermentation are happening, and they insert like sugar and yeast to make that bubble happen, they cap it with like a beer bottle cap.
Right.
And then when it's done, they take it off and then they put a cork in there. But that can last up to like 6 years, that
Right.
process.
And in that last bit, is that when they add some sugar?
They add
on...
the sugar, then they put the cap on.
Uh-huh.
They wait for it to do its thing.
Okay.
Then they take the cap off and then they put the cork on in the cage.
Seems like a lot of work. They have to do that for every bottle.
Well, yeah, in method champenoise, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right,
let's try it.
We have our crystal champagne flutes. Quite nice.
These are our anniversary or wedding gift, actually. Mm.
Yeah, that's nice. Now,
It is nice.
we don't really have a baseline yet. And truth be told, here we are in Cava country, and we actually don't drink it that much, because we're really more wine aficionados. Elizabeth doesn't love cava. I like it for special occasions,
Yeah.
but it just doesn't seem right to open up a bottle every day, especially when you're two people and you're going to drink wine with dinner.
Right.
And it's like, what do you do with it all?
Yeah, so in the literature for this particular cava, they say you can drink this with a meal. So it's not just with a snack or an
special
appetizer.
occasion. And foie gras, you don't.
Foie gras is great with champagne. This is really light.
Yeah, you could drink this with most of your dinner if you were so inclined. We were out to lunch at a very nice place yesterday, and the head waiter slash sommelier, when he was talking to us about red, white, and cava, he basically said the same thing that we've been saying for a long time: is there's no rules anymore about how to pair, that you have to have red with meat, or you can't have it with fish. I understand why some people prefer it that way, and I'm kind of a traditionalist with what I would drink with various foods, but, at the end of the day, everyone pretty much accepts that if you want to drink cava with your meal, it's certainly appropriate. So we're okay with that. We just like to try different things, and yeah, this one's really nice. It's got a pretty nice, toasty, malty It's definitely not overly sweet, which is the one thing that we just do not like.
Yeah.
Um, I'm wondering now if we're going to try
Yeah,
this
we opened it.
risotto.
We opened it.
I'm going to have to go get a couple of
Farley has to go
glasses.
get more glasses, so while he's doing that, um, it's interesting, this region, like the history of this region. That, like Farley was saying, they started producing wines in the 1400s, and wine was actually pretty important back then.
Oh yeah.
And it's gotten less important, believe it or not, over the years. And I think there are like 15. I'll have to look it up. You'll have to look up what the actual production is of Cava.
Well, they've got about 150 acres
Right.
planted, and between the red, white, rosé, Cava, um, yeah, I actually don't know how many bottles per year, but they're very small. Uh, Maybe not the smallest because there's even tinier, and these guys have been around for a long time. But yeah, we'll check on that. Fun fact here: these are the glasses from our wedding day. You can even maybe see some engraving there.
If you'd like to watch the video, Farley did a wonderful video of our wedding.
We don't know our audience well enough yet to give away all of our.
Yeah, but if
good
they really
stuff.
want to find it, they can probably find it.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
kind of fun.
we'll set up a challenge. But okay, let's try this one.
Cheers. Did you give me the right one?
I did.
Okay. Wow, there's quite a bit more sugar in there, but I have to say I like that one even better because it has more fruit. It has more of a fruit taste.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. You know,
Yeah?
you could even put a strawberry or a raspberry in there and just kind of sip on it.
Yeah.
It is fruity.
If you like sweet and fruit, this one I actually like better than this one.
I think I prefer the
Drier.
Brut Nature. It to me tastes more like the taste that I expect out of a good cava or a good champagne.
Mm-hmm.
But both of them are refreshing on a hot day. It'd be very nice to celebrate with. And I would love a little foie gras with something like this.
Is that on the menu tonight?
Toast. No, tonight is going to be my famous Kung Pao chicken.
Yeah, Farley makes the best Kung Pao chicken.
So, yeah, I would give these. I think I give the Brut Nature a 7.5, and I give the Risotto
75
a
out
7.
Of 100?
Yeah. So I mean a 75 out of 100 and a 70 out of 100.
Okay.
100 horns.
All right.
So that's not bad. I'm sure we're gonna find better. I'm sure we're gonna find worse.
Yeah, I'm giving this one a 65.
Okay.
Just because I feel like there isn't enough. I mean, it's good. It's dry. It's pleasing, but there isn't enough flavor or something. There's something missing from it.
Fair enough.
And this one, I'm gonna give it a 70.
All right. Well, those are pretty good for our first attempt at reviewing the Cava. As you might have seen, we're calling this wine stream the Cava Hunters, and I think you'll see we're going to alternate between wine and Cava. We've got a lot of hunting to do, and it's really easy because it's so close. So
Yeah.
we're going to be getting pretty active on bringing you the best of our reviews.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, guys. We're losing light here. It's sun is just going down.
Yeah.
So wherever you are, asante, salud.
Salud.
Cheers.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for joining us, guys.